Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Nathan and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to see what is an iterator and how it works and its different elements. The iteration engine formula. The iteration engine is a fundamental concept in programming, describing the structure of loops, while loops, and for loops, which are essential for executing repetitive tasks. So for this to work, we need 4 parameters in place. We need a starting point, a stopping point, a condition, and an incremental progress. With these 4, we can construct the iteration engine. For this, we have a little question. We have a little exercise that says, create a program that prints the first 10 numbers. Okay, for this demonstration, I'm going to use a program called Saint. We're going to need a variable, which is going to be the initial state. I'm going to name that variable I. It starts in 1. And then an ending point that I'm going to name n, which is for number, and it's going to be in 10. Next, I'm going to need a while loop, which it will print every time it's true. So when I is less than equal to n, print the current status of I and the iterator, which is I equal I plus 1. Okay, cool. So in this part, we're going to see how it starts to print and evaluate. So now it's in the condition, keeps going. And as you can see on this side of the screen, on your left side, it prints a 1. And we keep iterating. We have a 2, 3, and as you can see, every time it passes through the green little box, it prints the current status of I until it reaches the end. 10 is less or equal than n, yes, so it will print 10. 11 is 10 or less. 10 is 11 less or equal than n? It's false, so it just breaks out. It goes all the way to false, and that's the end of the program. Okay, great. Now, for a well understanding of how to solve a problem, the first step is to read and understand what is being asked. So this was being asked. There is not too much to it. And the second part is to understand what's going on. And this is where everything happens. All the magic happens in this part. So what I personally understand is asking me, print the first 10 numbers, which is 1 all the way to 10, and what is in between. So the iterating part from the beginning is 1, starting point. The ending point will be 10, which is the last one. And all of this is being saved in memory with a variable named n and I. And this is saying when I is less than equal than n, this is true. And finally, we have the incremental process, which is 1 plus I. And every time is just updating one step at a time. So it starts in 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on until it reaches 10. Finally, we have another flowchart. This is created in a program called Flowgorithm, and this is in English and in Spanish. The other program that I showed you was only in Spanish. So what is a flowchart? A flowchart is a graphical representation of a process, system, or algorithm. It uses various symbols to illustrate the steps, decisions, and flow of information or action in visual format. And this is what is going on, the same thing as before. We have a starting point, an ending point, a condition, and the little steps that we take. And we have the printing part. So when I is less than equal than n, over 1, print 1, increase by 1, 2, 3, 4, until it reaches 10. Lastly, we have a desk check. A desk check refers to the process of manually reviewing and verifying a piece of code or a set of instructions on paper without executing on a computer. So this will check if our algorithm is correct or not. So as stated before, we have the condition, we have the print, and we have the incremental progress. So it starts in I, it starts in 1, and it ends in 10. If this is true, prints 1, it increments by 1 equals 2. 2, prints 2, it adds 1, 3, and so on, all the way to this. This is the interesting part. 10 is less or equal to 10. Yes, it is. This is true. So it prints 10. 1 plus 10 equals 11. 11 is not less or equal to 10, so this is false, and simply loops out of all of this. So when it reaches 11, it goes out the back door. It doesn't iterate this way. Cool. So on this video, we have seen what is the iteration engine formula, which goes for while loops and for loops, what is a flowchart, and what is a desk check. Thank you very much for seeing my video, and I hope this clears how iteration works, how a flowchart works, and very importantly, how a desk check is being created. I really hope when I was starting programming, I will know these basic elements and how this works to become a better programmer. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.